We are HydraVisus, a novel sensor aimed at revolutionizing wound care. Let's do a thought experiment. You're a nurse, and you're in charge of a patient who comes in with a wound on their arm. From your training, you know the wound can't be too moist or too dry. So now you have two questions. What type of dressing should you use, and how often should you change the dressing? It turns out nurses are pretty good at deciding the first one, but deciding how often to change the dressing presents a special challenge. See, the problem is, after you apply your first dressing, you have little to no visual cues indicating how moist the wound is. So that begs the question, just how bad are you at determining when to change the dressing? It turns out you might as well flip a coin. In a large-scale observational study, it was shown that 44.9% of the time that nurses change wound dressings, the wound is still at optimal moisture levels and does not need to be changed. Enter HydraVisus, a low-cost, compact, and sustainable moisture monitoring solution. We've utilized the Turner Group's proprietary sensor technology and added an adhesive so that the sensor can be easily attached to any dressing. All the nurse has to do is stick HydraVisus onto the dressing and apply the dressing to the wound as per usual. Easy enough, right? HydraVisus can be used in clinical settings such as hospitals, long-term care facilities, wound care clinics, nursing homes, and any other clinical setting used to deliver wound care. HydraVisus has the potential to alleviate key pain points and can help improve patient outcomes, decrease patient discomfort, reduce nursing labor, and lower supply costs. So just how big of a deal is this? Nearly 3% of the global population is expected to deal with persistent wounds. This includes acute wounds like those from surgery, trauma, abrasion, and burns, as well as chronic wounds including diabetic or venous ulcers and pressure injuries. Existing solutions to enhance the treatment of these populations are extremely limited, but have three broad characteristics. They're unadaptable, bulky, and expensive. This means they can't be applied with every dressing, they often need to be hooked up to a machine, and they're too expensive to be easily implemented in clinical practices. Using wound incidence data and estimations on the frequency of wound changes, we've estimated that the serviceable market size for a product is around $277.5 million. Assuming we capture 10% of that, we've estimated a serviceable obtainable market of $27.8 million, without including markets outside of the US and UK, and without including applications outside of chronic wounds. We plan to implement HydraVisus with a two-pronged approach, the first being R&D and the second being business development. While we prototype and develop the product, we plan on interfacing with key stakeholders to potentially run a pilot or study of our product. We hope to launch our product in the US by 2025 and do a global launch in 2026. We've already started interfacing with stakeholders and have received positive reviews for the potential of the product. For example, we spoke to Jaden Jeffers, who is an emergency room nurse. She said the product has the potential to be a great visual tool, to be efficient in care and cost, and has immense potential in outpatient and home care settings. Another quote from a geriatrician and clinical administrator includes a unique opportunity to enhance medical decision-making. Last but not least, in order to make our product a reality, we have laid out some preliminary resources required to develop our concept. We hope to generate an initial prototype, scale our operations while focusing on research development, and strengthen our team by building out some key areas where we currently do not have expertise, such as the development of the front-end interface actually used by the healthcare professionals. Here is our team. We are comprised of members who have experience related to the technical aspects of our product and members who have experience navigating the healthcare space. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we are excited about this technology and our product.